U.S. billion-dollar aircraft carrier is finally ready for action. USS Gerald R. Ford is the first flagship of its class for the United States Navy. The ship is named after the 38th President of the United States, Gerald Ford, whose naval service during World War II included combat service aboard the light aircraft carrier Monterey in the Pacific Theater. So, let's dive into our channel, Freedom and Fast, and learn more about this carrier. History. On September 10, 2008, the U.S. Navy signed a $5.1 billion contract with Northrop Grumman Shipbuilding of Newport News, Virginia, to design and build the carrier. Northrop began construction of the launcher in 2005 under a $2.7 billion contract. The carrier was built at Huntington Ingalls Shipyard in Newport News, Virginia, which employs 19,000 people. In August 2011, it was reported that the carrier was structurally half-finished. In April 2012, construction was 75% completed. On the 24th of May 2012, the milestone of the ship's completion to the waterline was reached, when the critical lower bow section was hoisted into place. It is the 390th of the nearly 500 stacks of integral modular components that make up this ship. Huntington Ingalls said in a November 8 news release that the structure is 87% complete. As of December 19, 2012, construction was 90% complete. Gerald R. Ford's first port call outside his home country will be at the port of Halifax, Nova Scotia, headquarters of SFB Halifax, Canada's largest military facility and the base of the Royal Canadian Mounted Atlantic Fleet, on October 28, 2022. The combat system. The combat system for the U.S. Navy's newest and most expensive warship, the $13 billion Gerald R. Ford, has not been shown to effectively protect aircraft carriers from anti-ship missiles and other threats, according to a new evaluation test from the Pentagon. USS Gerald R. Ford, the U.S. Navy's newest aircraft carrier, began its first deployment. At the cost of over $13 billion, the carrier will work with countries such as Canada, France, and Germany to train air defense, anti-submarine, and amphibious operations. Live video was posted on the U.S. Navy's Facebook page showing tugboats removing the gray-painted vessel from the wharf at the Naval Station Norfolk in Virginia. The ship's deployment will exhibit multi-domain, full-spectrum lethality unprecedented in the Atlantic, Admiral Daryl Caudle said in a statement ahead of the ship's departure. USS Gerald R. Ford was commissioned in 2017 and is more than 1,100 feet long. It can move 100,000 tons when fully loaded and can reach speeds of over 34 miles per hour. Since it requires fewer crew members than previous carriers, the ship is designed to be capable of carrying a futuristic energy weapon which is still under development. The speed at which the aircraft can be launched and towed is reportedly a major improvement. But the June 2022 report to the Congress speaks to problems with the systems involved. The Navy expects to meet its reliability targets by 2030, said a Government Accountability Office report on the aircraft's electromagnetic launch system and advanced containment equipment. The combined performance of the test ship's missile interceptor, radar, and data propagation system limited its ability to destroy the incoming weapon replica, although the sensory system satisfactorily tracks, detects, and engages targets. The airline, founded by Huntington Ingalls Industries Incorporated, is also still plagued by the poor or unknown reliability of its aircraft launch and recovery systems, according to the 5-page report. And a recent shock test that assessed key system vulnerabilities identified several design flaws that had gone unnoticed, the testing service said. The Navy has identified several survivability options to enhance the class of 4 ships from underwater threats. Continued shortages undermined the Navy's hopes of introducing the Ford as the first of its new class of nuclear-powered launchers capable of representing U.S. forces worldwide, and being more combat-ready, reliable, and easier to maintain than the Nimitz class it is replacing. The latest assessment raises new questions for Pentagon officials and lawmakers about the extent to which the Navy will show improvements before Ford goes on its first patrol with escort aircrafts and ships in mid-September. We haven't covered everything yet, so tighten your belts as we continue on this roller coaster of this U.S. aircraft carrier. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. The report, which included unclassified and unclassified controlled information and was distributed to the Navy, noted that only a limited assessment of the combat system effectiveness was possible at the time. Tests. 3 previous tests of the Navy's Ford self-defense system aboard a dedicated ship to evaluate effectiveness were insufficient to evaluate the system's combat capabilities against supersonic anti-ship cruiser missiles and subsonic cruiser missiles, and there are no planned future test events against threats that could provide additional data, according to the testing service. The ship's gun-like Gatling system suffered from numerous reliability issues, which in some cases prevented the system from completing its mission, the testing bureau said. After a series of further assessments and exercises with the Ford Air Wing, the airline plans to visit multiple operating theaters with multiple allies by the end of the summer, Rear Admiral James Downey, the Navy's Executive Director of Aircraft Programs, told reporters on Friday. The testing bureau said Ford was unlikely to meet its target for the number of flights it could launch in 24 hours, saying it was based on unrealistic assumptions. He also said that the launcher's new electromagnetic ejection system manufactured by General Atomics has demonstrated a reliable 272 launches among operational mission failures, or far below the 4,166 required out of the 8,157 launches and recoveries over the past year, as it has done. The Naval Sea System Command said that during Ford's latest phase of the sea, the carrier completed all necessary testing, completed work ahead of schedule, increased system reliability for new technology, and served as an East Coast platform for conducting carrier pilot qualifications for more than a year of 400, and has served newly qualified and requalified pilots. The more than 8,100 takeoff and landing operations underline Ford's increased capabilities and provide increased confidence that a fully trained Ford crew and assembled air wing will achieve the required level of flight generation, the order said. The giant ship can accommodate more than 4,500 people and weigh 90,000 tons. The SVN-78 is the flagship of the Ford-class carriers, replacing the existing Nimitz-class carriers. At first glance, both classes have similar airframes, but the Ford class introduces several technological innovations aimed at increasing carrier operational efficiency and reducing operational cost and crew requirements. Launch system. The launch system is only a small part of the SVN-78 puzzle. The ship features a redesigned and relocated island, 3 faster and more powerful lifts, an advanced aircraft recovery system, and a revamped cockpit design. These changes are very important to increase the number of launches. Speaking of combat, the wearer is more than capable of handling it. The Sea Sparrow evolved missile defends against high-velocity and highly maneuverable anti-ship missiles, and its weapon system of choice is the rolling aircraft missile. Not to forget the various Gatling mounts and heavy machine guns, as well as more than 75 aircraft ready to be launched at any time. Sean Stockley, Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Research, Development and Procurement, said trying to incorporate a lot of new and untested technology into the first new carrier design in 40 years caused a lot of problems. But, he said, once completed, the Ford class will be at the heart of a future carrier strike group and contain a suite of advanced technologies designed to enhance warfare capabilities and significantly reduce manpower. This innovation eliminates the traditional need to generate and store steam, freeing up a lot of space under the decks. With EMLs, the General R. Ford can take off 25% more aircraft per day than the Nimitz class and requires 25% less crew. The Navy estimates this will save $4 billion in operational costs over 50 years. So that was the video. Hope you like it. There's still a lot more to learn about, so hang on till then. And make sure to subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to comment down what your thoughts are about this aircraft carrier. And if you want us to keep making videos like this, then give this video a big thumbs up.